I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater. The past 2 season finales were awesome and sent the show into summer reruns with serious promise of even better stuff to come. But doing that comes with a hefty price. As always, when you get a reputation for doing good work, then you have to live up to it.
Close, Admiral.
Well, how much higher can the radiation go, Dr. Land?
We're almost at peak load now, though no one's really had enough experience with Zyron 143 to really judge.
Zyron 146 is an exotic element that is supposed to have enough energy packed into its atoms to provide Earth with energy to sustain us for centuries, or destroy the whole bloomin' bunch of us in a heartbeat if we use it the wrong way. Our guide is Dr. Land, which seems like an ideal name for a geologist, doesn't it? And you can't make this kind of thing up. The actor's name is Arthur Space. You'd think he might be in a different kind of science fiction, but so far the only alien we've seen him encounter was Superman back in the 50s. We saw him twice there. And today he's 1,500 feet under the floor of the sea. Land, sea, space. I wonder if he used to be a Navy SEAL. Captain Crane isn't crazy about any of this. He thinks they should leave it alone. Nelson says, we can't risk this stuff falling into the wrong hands.
As far as we know, Dr. Land is the only one who knows the Zyron's down here.
Look, we've been through all this before. We do know that attacks have been made on Dr. Land and myself, and attempts to subvert and brainwash the crew.
Remember, he said that. Their radios don't work this far underground, and some earth tremors are starting to happen, so he'll head back to their landing point and check in with the Seaview. I repeat, remember what he said about the attempts to brainwash the crew, because they succeeded at least once. He gets a sample of the element, then sends a fake distress call to the Seaview, telling them Captain Crane and Dr. Land are dead, he's seriously hurt, and he's coming back on board. I mentioned Arthur Space playing Dr. Land. I have so much fun saying sentences like that. He has the easiest job this episode because he spends most of it unconscious. Mr. Morton has Chief Sharkey and Patterson head out to try and help the captain, or at least recover the bodies. While they're leaving, Nelson goes to his cabin and pulls out a particular attaché case.
Mr. Nelson, do you read me?
We hear you. Proceed.
Zyron deposits located at exactly the coordinates indicated on the microfilm taken from Dr. Land's laboratory.
He gives some more particulars and then asks what to do now that he has the sample and the information. In his muddled state, he forgot that we have the country's top radio man on duty, and Sparks has picked up the rogue signal. It's scrambled so he can't hear anything, but it's an unauthorized radio transmission, and it's coming from the boat. Morton produces a directional finder and has Kowalski go hunting.
It's
imperative that the Seaview never return with the information it has.
Stand by. I'm getting a signal. Intercept warning.
He shuts the radio down, closes the case, and puts it aside. Kowalski knocks and comes in rather sheepishly because now his detector isn't detecting. It won't occur to him that it was right both times.
I'm sorry, Admiral. I don't know why I'm sure sorry, Admiral.
Now, wait. If there's some strange signal coming from Seaview, we have to locate it. Now, search my cabin.
Search your cabin, sir?
Yes, of course. There might be some device planted in here. We've got to find it.
Why is he doing that? Kowalski concluded that it's a glitch in the detector. He's home free. He got away with it. But as my dad used to say, some people can't stand prosperity.
The only new thing here is that attaché case. I brought it aboard when I picked up Dr. Land. Let's have a look. All right, open it.
Sir, I just as soon take this.
No. Go ahead. Test it with your analyzer.
Again, I don't know why he did that. Leave the guy in peace to go chase shadows. As it is, someone will miss him and wonder what happened to him, so the point of taking him down like that genuinely escapes me. He resumes his radio call.
Look, I've got to get off this submarine.
Not before you've completed your mission. You do remember what it is, don't you?
Of course I remember. Destroy Seaview.
Except their deal was he won't be on it when it's destroyed. That was kind of his point just now. And as we knew would happen, Mr. Morton is calling for Kowalski and getting no response. We don't just sit back and wonder when that happens. We go find out. Just like we don't take anybody's word, not even Admiral Nelson's, that the captain is dead until we see the body for ourselves. And guess what? Sharkey and Patterson just discovered that the body is still alive. Dr. Land is badly hurt, so the first order of business is to get them dug out of there.
Dr. Land's in a bad way. The explosion nearly killed him. The Admiral set it off.
The Admiral?
That's right. Now get to the radio. And tell Mr. Morton that I want the Admiral confined to his quarters until I get back on board.
One of the drawbacks of being the CPO on this boat is sometimes you get all the dirty jobs, like telling Mr. Morton to arrest Admiral Nelson.
Well, first about the skipper. We haven't gotten him out yet, but he's alive.
Is he badly hurt?
Well, enough, sir. He and Dr. Land could be okay once we get him out, but that's not why I'm contacting you.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's about the Admiral, sir.
Oh, what about him?
Captain Crane wants you to put him under arrest.
Arrest the Admiral? Do you know what you're saying, Sharkey?
Yes, sir, I sure do. Those are the skipper's orders. Arrest him and confine him to quarters.
This is no time for bad jokes, Chief.
Chip, before you say another word, do both of you a favor. Stop and think. Think. Does he really suppose that Chief Sharkey, whom he's worked with for 2 seasons, is going to make tasteless jokes right now? Sharkey presses the issue and says that's the skipper's order. Morton puts a team together to go find and arrest his boss. May as well start looking in the most logical place.
Admiral? Admiral? If you're in there, open up. This is Morton. I want to talk to you.
Kowalski is alive, but he'll be on injured reserve for the rest of the season. The rest of the episode is the rest of the season. How come nobody gets these great jokes? That means his security team's search is cut short because they'll need to get Kowalski to sickbay. Better call in the cavalry.
Now hear this, all hands. This is the exec. Admiral Nelson is somewhere on board. He's ill. I want him seized and confined to quarters. Repeat. Admiral Nelson is to be seized and confined to quarters. Warning, he may be armed and he may be dangerous. He may be armed and he may be dangerous.
Which is to say everybody. Anybody who spots him is to detain him and call Mr. Morton immediately.
Keep away from that intercom.
That's assuming they get the chance. Another man comes in to help. I've concluded that Nelson is a little weak in the head. That's why it's so easy for other people to brainwash and control him. But physically, he's one of the toughest guys you'll ever see. There's more than one nerve gas bomb in that case, and the second one is spreading the gas throughout the ship. Everybody's unconscious except Nelson with his little air tank, that thing he put on his belt as a relay to the radio. Scuba divers are familiar with those little bitty tanks. They're marketed to us as emergency air that's small, light, easy to carry, and could save your life. Yeah, if you're only about 10 feet down when you need it, because those things hold maybe enough air for 3 breaths. If you're 90 feet underwater and you run out of air, that will almost get you to the surface. Experienced divers laugh at it, but I suppose it's enough for Nelson's purposes.
This is Nelson. Additional data on the status of Seaview.
Proceed.
Nerve gas methylene X has been used aboard. The entire crew is immobilized, with the exception of Chief Petty Officer Sharkey and Crewman Patterson.
Why are they exceptions?
They've gone to the underwater cave to try to find out what happened to Crane.
We are sending one of our submarines to the area with a landing party. Patterson and Sharkey will be taken care of.
His next step will be to pull the rods out of the reactor and let it explode, destroying the Seaview. Presumably, he'll be on that other submarine before it happens.
I'll try to bring you to with an anti-radiation shot. Get the executives and help down on a double.
Right. Seaview, this is Patterson. Seaview, this is Patterson. Can you read me over? Seaview, this is Patterson. Can you hear us up there? We need help and we need it bad. Can you hear us? Acknowledge.
I'd take that as a no. Now the problem is they have 4 guys in 2 scuba suits.
Hey, Chief. Isn't that a rescue party?
Hold it. They're not ours.
They're not what?
They're not ours. Let's get them.
Did he notice they were carrying weapons? They're not too concerned about our boys. They head into the cave to get more information about the mineral deposit. One of them will stand guard.
This is Nelson.
What is your status?
The reactor is building toward explosion. I'm preparing to leave for submarine rendezvous.
The submarine's rudder controls were damaged by an underwater quake. It can't reach rendezvous coordinates.
Well, that's not good. What's plan B?
For 30 minutes. Remain aboard until further notification.
But look, the reactor is going to blow in about 25 minutes.
You've not completed your mission.
Oh, no. But we had a clear understanding that...
Whatever understanding you have has been implanted by our techniques. You will obey orders without qualification. Is that clear?
Yes.
Plan B is he stays there and blows up with it. He doesn't like Plan B, but whatever they did to him is too strong to fight. In the cave, he said he was just shaken up, but then he lost consciousness. I guess he just needed a nap. If you really think he also needs a nap, next time get a heavier rock. I find it difficult to accept that that thing across the head didn't put him down for the count.
Come on, wake up. Come on.
Oh, Skipper. What happened? What? Oh. Those divers, they weren't ours. Must have gotten Patterson and me with their stun guns.
I got one of them. You mean there was more than one?
Well, 3 all told.
Do you know what that means? Once we take them down, we have enough scuba gear for all of us.
He's coming to.
Those guys often wondered what the American expression "turnabout is fair play" meant. Now they know. Education is important, folks. And as I said, they have enough scuba gear for all 4 of them now. Those dudes won't be needing it anymore.
This is Nelson. Come in.
What is your current status?
The reactor is building to critical mass. Explosion in about 9 minutes.
We are concerned that there may be an attempt to stop it.
But why? There's nobody aboard who could do that.
No, but we've been unable to contact our landing party. If the Seaview crew manage to defeat them, they may be on their way back to the submarine.
They'd never be able to stop me.
See to it that they don't. Your task still remains the same.
Oh, it's as good as done.
Nag, nag, nag. The others are back on board, and they've discovered that the Admiral already incapacitated everyone else.
I don't know why, but he tried to kill Dr. Land and me.
Brainwashed.
Brainwashed? How? When?
He was 24 hours late for his meeting with me.
Before he brought you aboard?
They must have got him, brainwashed him, and they must have...
He was 24 hours late for a crucial meeting, and you didn't think this was important enough to report to somebody? He also didn't notice that a critical roll of microfilm was missing from his place. It makes me think he's not very good at sciencing because his observational skills need major adjusting, even before Nelson dropped a mountain on his head.
We've got to get Dr. Land to the decontamination chamber. And Chief, you and I are going to check every square inch of the ship and...
Lee, this is Nelson. There's an old saying, Lee. You know about leaping from the frying pan up the fire? Well, that's what you've done by coming back aboard.
He explains about the reactor. Even if they had time to gear up and get out again, where would they go? By the way, the reactor is reacting, and they're on the bottom again.
Fortunately, the safety valves vented most of the explosion into the sea. But the main force is still building. Now, look, I'll take care of the reactor. You get Dr. Land into the decontamination chamber.
Oh, what about the Admiral?
We'll face that when we run into him. Nelson. If we have to, we'll kill him.
We've seen many times that these guys are all terrible shots, so a disabling shot to an arm or leg is obviously out of the question because accuracy, or lack thereof. But at least the sides are equal. Nelson is as bad a shot as the rest of them. Crane has reached the reactor room, but Nelson prepared a little surprise for him. He's out cold again. It'll be up to Sharky to shut down the reactor.
Chief?
Or not. We have to have a Wild West showdown first.
Stay away from there.
Sir, so the reactor's gonna go. We gotta get in there and shut it down.
No, nobody is going to shut it down. They just stay away from the hatch.
I can't, sir. I gotta get in there. I just can't let the Seaview go up in smoke.
Oh, she's going up all right. I've received my orders. Destroy the Seaview, and I'm going to carry them out.
Please, sir, I don't know what they did to you or why you're acting this way, but I gotta get in there and shut that reactor down. Even if I have to kill you.
He forgot Tuco's rule.
When you have to shoot, shoot, don't talk.
This is the end, Chief, for you, for me, the Seaview.
Admiral?
He recovered nicely. And don't worry, he set the phaser on stun.
Could cure him. Or kill him?
Have you gentlemen forgotten something? Such as that? They only have seconds to act. They might have had more seconds if they hadn't just sat there for most of them.
Lee, you can't! It's too late for that now!
How did all this happen? Who's responsible for this?
You might want to sit down before he answers you, Admiral. Dr. Land was right that stun gun jolt brought him out of it, and somehow what he did shorted out the reactor and stopped the meltdown. So Dr. Land is the real hero of this piece. He won't get any direct credit, but we can acknowledge his contribution.
Well, they know the nation responsible. There'll be some diplomatic discussion, some verbal wrist slapping at the executive level, and the world and Seaview will sail into the future as though nothing ever happened.
And that's why nothing ever changes. We have an international court of justice that's a toothless tiger. Nobody has the authority to come down on a country or leader that does these things, or worse. So we talk, behold humanity in all our glory. It's no wonder the only thing we're really good at as a species is killing each other. And that's season 3. A hostile power mind frails one of the officers and wreaks havoc on things. It might have been exciting except for 2 things. First, the characters moved like zombies. At times, Admiral Nelson seemed to be wandering around as if he didn't know where he was. There were moments when it was just plain dull. Second, and more important, we've done this plot multiple times before. We've also done the race the bad guys to the world-changing MacGuffin thing before. Nothing screams we're out of ideas louder than repeated plots. Let's hope that over the summer break, a few of the writers opened their heads up and poured some new ideas in. I'll be taking a little break while I set up to find out, and then we'll be back for Season 4. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.
All I gotta do is breathe underwater. Breathe underwater. Breathe underwater.
Do both of you go? Why can't I spit that out? May as well start. Skills need major major what? Word. Do your. Never mind, Chip.